Welcome to my channel, The Binge Eating Therapist. I'm Sarah, former binge eater turned psychotherapist, and I was asked if I could make a video about fasting. And so I thought that the most ethical way to approach this delicate subject was just to share my own experience, what it was that I believed about fasting and how it could heal my appetite, and then what the reality was of that and how it all panned out. And I say it's a delicate subject because there are lots of ways of looking at fasting. We know that there are some potential physical benefits to fasting, things like increased insulin sensitivity, giving our digestion a rest, becoming more fat adaptable in how we use our energy, cell regeneration. There's all these claims out here about how fasting can help. So it seemed like it made a lot of sense that this could be a potential path to healing my disordered eating. And it really fed into this belief that I held that once I start eating, I can't stop. So it's easier not to start. It seemed easier to fast than to try to find this elusive eating in moderation that everyone else seemed to be able to do except for me. And like many people who struggle with binge eating, I'm an all or nothing thinker. And fasting really feeds into the all or nothing mentality. It is all or nothing. So it's almost using the all or nothing mentality as a strength to be able to do this fasting thing. But what it didn't do was teach me how to negotiate with myself around food, how to deal with a craving when having the food is actually an option, because you just remove that freedom and then it feels like mental freedom, at least for a bit, because you're not having to make decisions and be like, do I eat this? Don't I eat that? When do I eat this? Is this okay? Have I eaten too much? Like all that mental noise can slow down for a bit. But without learning how to have permission around food and have a conversation in my head with myself around food, then I couldn't heal my relationship with food just by telling myself I can't eat for these windows of time, and now I can eat, and now I can't eat, and now I can eat. That made everything worse. But another hook in the whole fasting thing is the weight loss element, right? That it can promise weight loss and it can promise it quite quickly. And that was so appealing. The longest fast I ever did was a 10-day juice fast. And I meant to do it longer. My plan was I was just going to fast until my weight was in the range that I thought it was supposed to be, which was, I thought my weight should be within the healthy BMI range. So that's what I was aiming for. Wasn't aiming to be really thin. I just wanted to be at what I thought was supposed to be my healthy weight. So the plan I made was that I am just going to juice until I'm in my healthy weight range, and then I'm going to stop fasting and I'm just going to eat normally. And the absurdity of that hits me now, but at the time, that was so compelling and felt so possible and so true, because I hadn't separated the weight loss and my relationship with food. As far as I was concerned, they were one and the same thing. So I had this assumption in my mind that if my weight was not a problem to me, then how I thought and ate and made decisions around food would be easy. And that's not what people find. We develop this relationship with food, this pattern of stressing about food, of not knowing what to eat, of feeling guilty, of feeling proud sometimes as well. And that doesn't just go away, even if you get your body to the place that you want it to be. So when I did the juice fast, after I'd done it for 5 days, I weighed myself and I was like, excellent, I like what I'm seeing. Another 5 days went by, I got on the scale and I hadn't lost a single pound of weight in 5 days of not eating. So whilst at that time I had been watching loads of YouTube videos about the health benefits of fasting, it's supposed to give you mental clarity, it's supposed to detox you, it's supposed to do all these amazing things, resets your relationship with food, all these things, all these reasons I was convincing myself this was why I was fasting. The minute the result wasn't on the scale, I think you can guess what happened next. Days and days of the longest and hardest binging I'd had in a long time. And there was another very compelling belief as well, which made me keep coming back to trying to fast. And it was this idea that fasting undoes the binge, right? So if I just had a big binge and it was the end of the day, I would make myself a promise that the next day I was going to fast and maybe not eat till the evening, maybe not eat all day. Making that decision in that moment when I was so full of food and felt so ill it was easy to make the decision then, because I couldn't imagine ever wanting to eat food ever again. I was feeling so bad. But also the idea of fasting tomorrow and making up for the binge enabled me to calm myself down in the moment, right? It's really reassuring to go like, okay, oh, I feel terrible, I feel awful that I've just binged, but I have a solution. And the solution is I'm going to fast tomorrow. So, okay, as long as I fast tomorrow, it's okay, I'm okay. And of course, 99% of the time, I didn't even manage to do that. And even in the times when I did, when I broke the fast, I just ended up binging again. And I did not see the fasting as the problem. I thought I was the problem. I thought I just didn't have enough willpower. Fasting is still a great idea. I'm just so weak-willed. I just don't have enough strength that I can't just starve myself and then eat completely normally after that. So I was a pretty slow learner in terms of what these beliefs around fasting, even when I wasn't even managing to do it, still kept triggering more binges because I was always trying to do this and always feeling like I was failing. I also want to say that we can always justify whatever we want to believe. So if you want to believe that fasting can help you, you will find evidence for that. Because you will find there'll be people out there who are saying, I cured my binge eating through fasting and I transformed my relationship with food. I transformed my body and I felt amazing when I started fasting. And you'll see people like me and others going, don't do it. Whatever you do, it makes disordered eating worse. Don't do it. So quite often when we're finding videos like these to watch on YouTube, we're just reaffirming our biases. So looking for somebody who can tell you whether this can help you or not is probably not gonna, you're just gonna find the person that you want to hear. I don't want to presume and say I know what people should or shouldn't do, let's say when it comes to fasting, but don't do it.